Good morning, everybody. It's Busy Bee Retiree, Sarah in her kitchen. And today, are you ready to make some pizza dough? It's so easy and it's so good. It's nice and crispy crust. Let me show you how to do it. So first of all, you want to take in a nice mixing bowl, add 1/2 teaspoon of dry active yeast and 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. And to that, add 1½ cups of like 85-degree warm water and set it aside. That's it. Now, after that, we're ready to add. We're going to add in 1½ tablespoons of oil. And I'll have all the ingredients down in there. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. Well, first I'm going to put the flour in. 3 cups of flour, 3 cups. And this time I'm going to use the 00, the pizza dough flour, but you can use all-purpose flour or you can use bread flour, whichever one you want to use. But I have this, so I want to use it up. So 3 cups of flour going in, okay? And to that, then 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. That's it. That's it, you people. That is the ingredients. Now you're going to take your, I use this whisk. You can use your hands. You can use any kind of whisk you want, or dough whisk is easier. And just start mixing it around until it forms that nice dough ball. Yeah, you got to use your muscles. Get a little workout when you do homemade bread and homemade pizza dough. But that's okay. That's what keeps us strong and keeps us going. So just keep working it and working it until it forms that nice dough. And it's almost there. This is a fast, easy dough too, because we're only going to let this rise 45 minutes in a warm place. And after 45 minutes, then you're going to assemble it, put it in your pizza pan, and preheat your oven. And by the time the oven gets preheated to 425, then the pizza dough has rested enough and got a little bit of air in it, and it's ready to bake off. And it bakes in about 20 minutes, so keep an eye on it. So, okay, here we're going to take, now remember, don't put this dough down in your sink. It'll clog your sink. So take a paper towel and wipe that off, and then throw that in the garbage. So here's the dough. So we're just going to keep working it until it's a little bit on the damp side, but that's good. That's what you want. Just work it. So what I'm doing is just taking and pulling it and just getting it into a pizza dough ball. That's pretty good. So clean my hands off. Okay, we'll set this aside for a moment. Clean my fingers off here. Remember, this all goes in the trash. Don't put it down the drain, because then it hardens and you're gonna have to call a plumber eventually, maybe, when your sink gets all backed up. So, one more time. Now, in another bowl, I've already got some oil in this bowl. So I just want to spread the oil around up the side walls. And then I want to get my fingers my hands coated with the oil as well. And that way the dough won't stick to my hands again. So let's get the dough out. Beautiful. Beautiful, see? So now we're going to do what's called stretch and fold. So I'm just going to take it and fold it over, take it and fold it over, fold it over. Just keep doing that. That's what gets the gluten in the dough. So once you do all that, just fold it. Then you're ready to plop it down in there, turn it over so you coat that dough with the oil. Okay. And then I'm going to cover it. I want cover it. And I love my little plastic caps. So I'm going to cover it with the cap. Put another tea towel over it. And I'm going to place it in the oven, which is off, okay, in a nice draft-free place, and let it rest for 45 minutes. Then we'll start assembling the pizza. A little footnote here. This is how I clean my bowls. I put just a bare minimum amount of water, take a paper towel, and just keep wiping the bowl around and around till all those bits of the dough releases from the bowl. And I always have my nice big tall garbage can at my side, and I will just dump that right down in that garbage can. Then I'll take another paper towel and wipe this out completely, and then it will go in the wash water. So if you're wondering how to do that, that's how I do it. Even these particles here, pick them up with a paper towel. Yeah, you go through, you know, a few paper towels, but that's cheaper than calling a plumber. So that'll set aside and go in to be washed. So while the dough is rising, I want to show you what comes next. I'm going to have my pan oiled. It's a rectangle size pan. You can put it in whatever pan you want, a pizza pan, a sheet pan, however you want to do it, but you want to put oil on that pan. And then what I did was I mixed about 7 different ingredients, and again, it's going to depend on how much you want of these ingredients, if you've doubled the recipe and all, but here's what I used. I did 1/8 of 7 different spices: garlic powder, onion powder, dried basil, dried parsley, oregano, Italian dressing, and red pepper flakes. And I stirred them all up. And once I spread the pizza pan, the dough into the pizza pan, I'm just going to sprinkle this all over the dough, okay? And then I also mixed up some mozzarella cheese and some Parmesan cheese. I've got my pepperoni ready to go, but that I'll put on after the pizza bakes. So, little info right there. Here I've got some San Marzano tomatoes that are all chopped up, and I'm going to just take maybe a little pinch, pretty good sized pinch, and I'm just going to drop that into the tomatoes, maybe 2 pinches into the tomato sauce. Give that a little stir. Let those spices kind of marinate into the tomatoes while the dough is resting. So the sauce will be ready to go. And we'll be back. Don't forget, while your dough is rising in that 45-minute time frame, you can get all your dishes washed up that you just dirtied making the dough. So we'll be back soon. Okay, I'm going to use this well-loved pan. This came from Williams-Sonoma, and honestly, I've tried everything to get the baking marks out of it. I can't. It's all washed, it's all clean, but unfortunately it left the stain, so that's okay, it's well-loved. So we're just going to sprinkle some oil on the bottom of that pan. Use your hand and really get it in everywhere. Get it up the sides. Just getting ready for when the dough comes out after it's rested for 45 minutes. We got about 20 more minutes to go. Get that nice and evenly spread. Okay. There you go. Okay, our 45 minutes is up, so let's get our dough out of the area where I had it resting. So I had it in the oven with no heat, of course. preheat the oven now. Start preheating the oven. Here's my dough after it rested for 45 minutes. Make sure my hands are nice and clean and washed. Okay. Wipe down, wipe them dry. And now, pull up those sleeves. My pan is already oiled, okay? So now we're gonna dump the dough out into the pan. And it's got plenty of oil, so I'm gonna use that to get my hands nice and oily, so the dough does not stick to my hands. So we're just gonna spread this dough out. Let me get this around here so you can see what I'm doing. I hope you can see that. I think you can. So let's spread that out. It might want to spring back, but it'll eventually stay. And then I like to push it up the edges so it has that nice big thick crust on the edges. Just press it and hold it. That'll help it stay in place. Just press and hold. Use the edge of the palm of your hand right through here to press it against the edge. If you think it has a little bit too much oil, then you can always just tip it and use a paper towel to soak some of that up. But it'll be fine, okay? So, keep pressing until it stays in the corners and up the edge. Form that nice big crust. Press it out. In the meantime, my oven is preheating to 425. So let's wash our hands again. Get them good and dry. Okay. Now I want to sprinkle on those seasonings that we mixed earlier. So just take and sprinkle it right over top of that dough. If you want to add a little bit of salt, you can. We did salt the dough, so that's up to you. We're just assembling the pizza now. Get those seasonings all over that pizza. Okay, now for the tomato sauce. Again, I used San Marzano tomatoes. So we're just gonna sprinkle them on. You can use spaghetti sauce if you want to. Do whatever you want. It's your pizza, right? Yeah. Let's get it all on there. And then I just use my hands and spread it out. Yep, I'm gonna wash my hands again. Gotta have clean hands when you cook. That is a must. And I never double dip with a spoon. Never. Even if I'm just cooking for my family, you know, just get in that habit. Do not double dip. So I like to rinse my dishes out before I put it down in the dishwater. Wash my hands, dry my hands, and let's spread just a little bit more of that seasoning. Even though we put a little bit into the sauce, you want to just have that good pizza flavor. And now for the cheese. Shredded mozzarella and shredded Parmesan. You can add Munster cheese, you can, whatever cheese you like. Again, it's your pizza. The oven is preheating. It's not ready yet, but as soon as that goes off, see, this gives this pizza crust time to, again, rest a little bit. How about that? Perfect timing. Perfect timing. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna reserve that at the very end. Okay. So I'm gonna take it back, put it in the oven, and then I'll bring it out whenever it's all baked. It's gonna be in there for about 20 minutes. Okay, I have a correction to make. I said Italian dressing when I was naming the 7 different seasonings, but no, it is Italian seasoning. Okay, there's the correction. But I will leave all the directions and instructions, ingredients in my comment. Okay, friends, the pizza's done. Let's get it out. It was in for 20 minutes. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful. So first off, I want to get the pepperoni on it so that the residual heat will, you know, kind of semi-cook the pepperonis. So let's get that on there. Probably get about 12 slices. I would guess. Then I'm going to transfer it over to the pizza box, and then we'll slice it. But let's get this all on here first. All the pepperoni, just a few more to go. There we go. It's already, I can see it melting in already. Now, I really didn't put that much, so I like to just, whatever I make, I always like to dress it with my sea salts. Sea salt flakes, just a tiny, tiny bit. And remember, I reserved a little bit of that cheese, so I'm just gonna, just to make it pretty. Looks like snow, like what we have outside. And the residual heat will just melt that right into the top of the crust. And there we go. Oh my. I'd say within an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, you'll have a pizza. So let's take the peel and see if we can get this into the box. See how easy that lifted up? Right over into the pizza box. Beautiful. Put this aside. Bring this over. Let's take a look at the bottom. Look at this, my friends. Hear that? That's what you want to hear. Let's do a slice. I don't know if I can do that in the box. So anyway, you get the idea. I'm not going to cut it here, but I can smell it. I know it's delicious. I know it was fast, and I know you can do it too. So happy pizza making. Until the next video, see you. Thank you for watching. Hey friends, after this cooled down, I actually am eating, and this is my 3rd piece. Forgive me, but it is so good, so tasty. So I hope you make this. That crust is so easy to do, the dough, so easy to do. So make it for your family. Okay, bye-bye.